Oh, let me sit down.
5, 6, 7, 8. Boom, boom.
Oh no, it's metronoming. And we're gonna put the time. Okay. This is time for a clap.
I always think it's time for a clap. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God, was that the best clap we've ever done?
I felt how good that was.
That was lightning.
It was lightning crisp.
Click.
Now we're doing a bat.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters.
In law.
We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans.
Only Suits fans.
This is season 3, episode 4, Conflict of Interest.
Ugh, that was good.
You got a good
I took that in.
Slurpy one?
Slurpy derpy.
This one is good. So what's funny about this, not funny about this episode, this is not a comedy. I did not get to watch these episodes as early as I normally would before we record on our nights. And you walked in tonight and I heard the door opening because you have the code to my house, and you opened the door and I was lying on the couch with my computer in my lap, still watching Conflict of Interest, and you're like, hi. I'm like, I'm not done yet. And
this is a conflict of interest for you to be in the same room as me right now.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah. So, which means I'm going to have to improvise my brief because I didn't write it.
Oh, yeah. You were like, I'm going to write my brief. And then
somehow,
we got to talking.
And we got to talking. Because
I
also, this is the earliest you've ever been here.
I know. I put the kids to sleep extra early.
Which was so sweet, so that I could get some sleepy too.
Yeah, I was like, we gotta be
sleepy
done
too.
recording.
I don't even know what that is. I'm so tired.
Sleepy time.
Sleepy time, my buddy and me. You know
if
what?
anyone can improvise a brief, it's you.
Sure. Why don't we just get straight to your brief? I might have a hall pass this week.
Okay, that sounds great.
Great.
Stop the presses. Ava Hessington is innocent, but she doesn't have a chance to get her story in the press or in front of the board before Team Lewis and Katrina get her ousted to put $14 million on the Pearson side of the ledger. Donna gets a short-term assignment from demanding but generous Stephen in a hot, steamy affair that causes them to skip out and seeing Daniel Day-Lewis in a kilt. And Rachel and Mike say, I love you, in the cubicle pit. All this leaves a pit in my stomach, seeing how Harvey just keeps losing and losing and losing Jessica as a friend and mentor, Donna as a loyal secretary who tells him who she's banging, and Ava Hessington as a client who thinks he has her back. It looks like he will also be losing Darby's nomination for managing partner.
I'm just going to yes and that and take my hall pass this week.
That's great.
Right?
You deserve it. You deserve a hall pass.
Thank you. I'll take a hall pass this week.
But don't think I won't bring this up when it's time to nominate boxers.
No, I could, for sure we'll get a boxer with that. I mean, if you take a hall pass,
it's immediate boxer.
You would have to literally deliver a dumpster fire brief to receive a nomination for a boxer over a hall pass where I just say yes and. Two of the most important words in the world. I agree.
Wait, but now that you're saying this, is it even fair to give a boxer to a hall pass? Because the point of the hall pass is that you're getting a pass.
That's fair.
So I don't think you know what? I can't bring this up.
Okay.
You
these are the rules.
This is the rules. You've pled the fifth.
You know what? We love the law.
We love the law. Instead of a hall pass, can we call that pleading the fifth?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
And I'm not holding it against you. Because I don't know why you're pleading it.
It's my constitutional rights.
And we're nothing if not a constitutional rights.
Yeah, that's the name of our law firm, Austin & Austin, constitutional rights experts.
Yeah, I'm such an expert.
Let's keep this train a-rolling.
Let's go right into Hessington Oil.
Hessington Oil, we are coming for you.
Because this is not done.
You'll notice that sometimes there's a little drama that happens in an episode on Suits. Resolve it, just like that. Kind of the equivalent of like a B-line of a story in a sitcom. And then sometimes we have these that kind of go on and on. So we're probably very lucky back in the days of Suits when you were cast, because you didn't know, like, is this going to be a Travis Tanner situation, like where you could be recurring? Is this going to be Hessington Oil? Do they want Cameron Brady Dennis back? Like, you don't know. Right. And a lot of these characters are recurring, which makes sense because it's a drama.
It's a drama.
And you can do that. And you can build more relationships with them and then weave them back in.
And there's so many tangled webs.
You can charm that snake.
Charm it. Yeah, Hessington Oil is the Coastal Motors of season 3.
100%.
So we start, Harvey and Lewis are both exercising separately. Harvey is in a fitted sweatsuit, looking nice, turning heads. Lewis is in something that I would wear. It's like an oversized sweat jacket,
like a windbreaker
jacket. Windbreaker, a toboggan. Like, he just looks like it's mismatched. While they are on their exercising,
while they're on their exercising.
Well, I was gonna say on their run, but Lewis is not really running.
When they're out getting some exercise.
Yeah, when they're out enjoying the fresh air, getting exercise. Lewis sees the newspaper saying Hessington takeover is in progress. Harvey gets a notification on his phone saying Hessington Oil they're very different.
Yes,
in how they're receiving information, how they're dressed for their workout.
Absolutely.
But they both get their shit together.
Yeah, they get dressed up and they're about to get ready to get messed up inside of the office, is what I mean.
Doing their job. Which they are both prepared for.
Yes.
In the conference room, Katrina is right at Lewis's side, Mike's like, what the hell? What?
Yeah. He's like, went and got a rebound, did you?
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Other lady.
Wow.
Other associate.
Side of the bed isn't even cold yet, Mr. Lit.
And she's just standing right by her man. And
stand by your man.
Lewis says, oh, you seem upset that you thought she was trying to be friendly and then she betrayed you. Huh. How about them apples?
How about them apple fritters?
Gobble it up. Eat it.
Yep.
Harvey is mad that Lewis wants Ava to make a statement to the press. Katrina's like, why? Did you ever think that if she's cold enough to kill people off from her pipeline, that she's cold enough to lie to the press? Like, she's going to be fine.
And I wrote, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
And Katrina's not wrong.
Yeah. I don't think Katrina... I rarely think Katrina is wrong. I think her delivery...
Her delivery comes out sideways. Her instincts come out up non-right ways.
Right ways. Exactly. And I think Lewis's instincts do not always come... Like, I think sometimes his instincts are very off.
Yeah.
And his delivery is off. But Katrina, I think, has, like, the right insights.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even though Katrina and Lewis have put this plan in place, Mike and Harvey are not going to let this happen.
No, they're going to squash that shit.
So Mike gets out of a car and intercepts Mr. Connolly, the journalist who's going to be getting this statement.
In a wonderful British accent. Our listeners across the pond would completely approve of it. I loved it because I know that Mike has a theater background, so I think it's fun. Did you not think it was good?
I don't know. It was just weird to hear him in a British accent.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what a good British accent is?
Is it more weird for you to hear someone who's from America, the United States, pretend to have a British accent, or for someone who is British to have an American accent?
I think it's weirder for me to hear someone who I know has an American accent speak in a British accent.
Okay. So for me,
because think about, like, Margot Robbie's Australian.
I know.
And she has an Australian accent.
It's weird for me when I hear people pretend to have an American accent.
Like Margot Robbie?
Yeah, like Margot Robbie.
Really?
And what's his face?
Can you tell that it's not real?
No, it sounds great. I'm like, that's really great. I just feel like that would be harder to do. And then, like, what's his face? I lost his name from Succession. There are a couple of shows out there where I'm like, I forget that you
don't talk like
me. You don't talk like me. You know?
I think what it is no matter what, if I hear someone with an American accent and then I hear them with an Australian or British accent, then I'm going to be thrown and I'm going to default that the American accent was what they should be talking like.
Okay.
You know?
Interesting.
I'm going to be like, this is wrong.
Okay.
So that's what happened when Mike opened his big old British mouth.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. It was cute.
So then while this is happening, Harvey meets with Ava at a nice restaurant. She's like, I don't appreciate being muzzled.
She doesn't. She does not want to be muzzled. This company is her life. And he's like, hey, she's like, I wasn't hiding this from you. And he's like, well, you didn't exactly send me a calendar invite. So while she was not disclosing it, she was not forthcoming. So this is one of those weird things where, like, is it ethical? Is it legal? Like, what can she... And
For her to talk to the press?
She can talk. The thing is she should, if she's being, which we know she's being coached by her attorney, she should tell her attorney everything.
Right.
She has to tell her attorney. He cannot protect her. When you are in a lawsuit, you have to tell your attorney, look, I gotta tell you something, and this is not good, but...
Someone wants to talk to me in the press. Should I do it? What should I say? In trouble for something that you say.
You have to tell your attorney everything. She's like, by me not speaking, I look even more vulnerable. Our stock is plummeting every single day. This company is my life. This is my life. Like, I have to be able to say something. And I get that. You want to go and you want to defend yourself. But he's like, look, you're going to look like a greedy oil CEO who would do anything to keep control.
Including murdering
people. Yes.
So he thinks this is all kind of part of Cameron Mike Brady Dennis's plan.
Right.
Jessica and Harvey connect about Ava and Lewis.
And I think they did it in a walk and talk.
Yeah, this is probably a walk and talk where they're talking about...
they're in the office because Jessica's standing in there. She's wearing this like thing that looks like a two-piece outfit, but it's really just a dress with this like half thing. I loved that dress.
They had some good...
Her wardrobe. I read about the person who dresses her the other day. I'll have to pull it up for the next episode. I went on a deep dive. Listeners, I have some news. The bag that was in season 2, episode 16, and also makes an appearance in this episode, is been located online.
What is it?
It's the Gucci stirrup bag, and I found it on a couple of different sites used. And I'm working some deals, so if I close a deal, I might treat myself to this because I have been obsessed with this bag, and I spent about 10 or 15 minutes. That's all it took. I was able to find it.
Oh my gosh.
If
you walked in with that bag.
Dude, I just can't tell because it's going to be pre-owned, which I'm totally fine with. I just want to make sure it's going through like either, Poshmark or the Real where they like actually
verify.
Yeah, they did the authentic.
Because people get duped all the time.
Yeah.
So Jessica and Harvey are talking about Ava and Lewis. Mm-hmm. Harvey's like, Lewis is just mad at me because I sabotaged his case, but murder trumps takeover.
Yeah.
This murder case is what we need to protect, not like the Hessington oil.
Yeah, murder kind of trumps most things.
Yes.
Right?
Right. Jessica has to make the call, and she says that Ava has to step down. And Harvey's like, no, because Darby assigned this case to me.
Yeah.
And Darby's the 51% partner, not you.
Yeah.
So
and
take a seat.
She sits there, and again, we've talked about how calm, cool, and collected. She's got the triple C's over there, Miss Pearson. She doesn't really react to that. She's like, okay. I mean, she is so composed. It's kind of unbelievable.
It's interesting you feel like she was super composed. I felt like she and Lewis both looked uncomfortable, but they didn't say anything back.
You can be uncomfortable and composed.
Yes.
Like, she never flies out. Like, Harvey has flown off the handle. He's knocked stuff off of desks. Like,
right.
Jessica is almost always so composed.
When she gives it to someone, she does it in the lowest tone.
Oh, she drops that octave.
And it's just so cutting.
And she's got a weird metaphor,
Yeah, some sort of weird, you're a tiger and I will put you to sleep.
Yeah.
Now get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Like that'd be something she would say.
Yeah.
Harvey goes and talks about this confrontation, and Mike's like, wow, I bet you was so pissed. But he really does not care. He's not fazed by this at all.
No, not at all.
Lewis and Jessica are then talking about the same confrontation, and Lewis is like, I can be your black swan. Like, thanks for backing me up there. I can do all the dirty work.
Can make your dark choices. Which is like, he's wanting to be Harvey to Jessica.
But the bad one.
Like the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Kind of like
fixer.
The fixer, yeah.
But kind of the messer-upper.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no. No.
She's like, no.
She says she's not afraid of getting caught. She doesn't want to operate that way.
Yeah.
Then Lewis is like, oh, interesting, because you did operate that way on some other cases with Harvey.
Yeah.
But now that you're not in charge, you don't want to. I see that. So everyone's throwing in Jessica's face that she's not in charge. And it's like, okay, she's still way more in charge than you are.
Yeah, Lewis is always onto stuff, though. He's pretty smart.
He's pretty smart.
Yeah.
He knows her weakness.
Yeah. Then we see Lewis and Katrina. They're very in sync with each other. She has anticipated his needs. She's like one step ahead. And he turns to her and he says, if you were less attractive, I'd love you. Which is such an interesting compliment. And she goes, I know.
She gets it. Is he saying that Sheila Saz is unattractive? Or less
No,
attractive?
I think it's just more of his way of saying, like, I'm not attracted to you, like, but I am, but not, but like, actually, I don't know.
I don't really understand. It feels like then anyone he's attracted to, he's saying is less beautiful than Katrina.
That might actually be what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And she basically says the same thing to him. Like, we can do this, we can do that. And he's like, oh no, I don't want to operate that way.
He quotes old JP.
Old Jessica Pearson. Mm-hmm. Katrina and Mike are then talking because Mike is on Katrina duty for a few days. So they have a tough start to this. They're working in a conference room and it's tense.
Yeah.
And they're just like going through boxes. And then Mike's like, we're looking in the wrong spot. And then they find something.
Yeah.
In a blue folder.
It's their aha moment.
It's their
Do your aha noise.
Bazingy!
Oops, I did it again.
I looked through this folder.
Yeah.
And I found a Post-it. Yeah, and then they're like, oh, this is it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. 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 Mm-hmm. Shit. Shit. They say shit, I think, like 30 times. Mm-hmm. But we don't know what they found. They found something.
Right. They found something. And they're doing this shit. That's from The Wire.
Oh.
Yeah. And he says, or she says, you're into The Wire. And then he does like this whole little thing from The Wire. So that's actually from The Wire.
Oh,
and so now they have this like, Mike loves a TV show
quotes.
or a movie quote.
Katrina knows that
Yeah,
too.
and then they have a later reference that another show that they watch at the end that comes up, The Sopranos.
The Sopranos and The Wire.
Yeah. So.
Rachel sees this cute shit moment.
Yeah.
And she kind of like, interesting.
Interesting. I wonder what's happening over there.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Jessica confronts Darby as he is getting out of a car. They are actually...
In Toronto.
Toronto. I didn't know. That's the Toronto Tower in the background. But he says, don't use firm money to fly because my answer is no either way.
Could have picked up the phone and called me.
You could have just picked up the phone and called because Jessica's basically saying, we need Ava to step down. And he's like, absolutely not. And Harvey's on the case, not you. Mm-hmm. So he repeats what Harvey said. Mm-hmm. So then Katrina goes to talk to Lewis. Lewis is about to go confront the company that's trying to take over Hessington Oil. Mm-hmm. Katrina says, I think you should take Mike with you because then he'll get to see you totally explode this whole thing. And all this Post-it note stuff that they found, Mike and Katrina, Mike will get to see Lewis execute it. Mm-hmm. Before Lewis can go and do this, Harvey comes in and says, you should take Mike. And then Lewis is like, well, then I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take him at all.
I think he was trying to get Lewis all worked up. Like, I think this was a plant.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
You think Harvey told Katrina to go tell?
Yeah, I think it was I think so. Because Harvey has like the tiniest Spectre smirk. So I think they did it to get Lewis all worked up because he knows he needs to get him worked up and to go in there by himself.
Oh my.
He'd be like, I can do this on my own.
Because they've done that before.
Yes. And so, because if he took Mike, then he would have a Boy Wonder with him and he would have something to fall back on. But they're getting Lewis all like jacked up, pumped up. And then he goes to Katrina. He's like, what just happened to him? She goes, he got lit up. Which is great.
So Lewis goes to meet with Tony Giannopoulos, the guy who's going to...
Which we haven't seen yet.
We haven't seen him. And in fact, we don't see him.
No.
Because his dude is in the lobby and he's like, you're not going to see him. Lewis is like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. And he presents the balance sheet. And Tony Giannopoulos' Tony's guy is
right-hand man.
His right-hand man is like, nah, whatever. This is how it's covered. And then Lewis is like, okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? And how about this? And how about that? And how about this? And has like 100 folders.
Yes.
It looks like for a moment, Tony's right-hand man is getting a little flustered. And then he goes, oh, yeah, except for...
We're eating dinner with the head of the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, tonight. And he's like, that's ill. He goes, it's not illegal if we disclose it. And we always do.
Right.
He's like, we're one step ahead of you. We didn't go to Harvard. We went to Wharton.
Yeah, he's like, we're investment bankers. We
we call you for paperwork.
dumb.
Yeah,
right, we call you for paperwork. Oh, yeah, what a diss.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh man, well, I feel like Harvard's a pretty good school.
Yeah, but it's no Wharton, I guess. So then Katrina and Mike, they don't know about this yet, but it's kind of flirty.
You think it's flirty?
It's kind of flirty. I don't know. It's kind of like they're on the same team.
I think you'd be on the same team and not flirty, but I sense a little bit of it's like a newfound,
Oh, I have some respect for you because you watched The Wire.
Yeah.
In the windows, the skyline looks really fake.
And I noted it's because it's a shower curtain. It's a big curtain. Remember?
No, I know.
Like there are times when you know that it's not a real backdrop.
Looks real. It's like almost like 3 different shower curtains.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
It's like the same shower curtain, but produced in a different year. So they had to staple it together to try and make it like when you're trying to get wallpaper to line up.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad in this scene.
Yeah.
This would be one to like show on TikTok.
Yeah.
So Lewis is pissed. He marches up to Jessica and he's like, this didn't go well. Harvey has handcuffed me. I want off this case. I'm done with it. And then she's like, well, I'll take the handcuffs off. But she's also not saying anything. But she's saying you can get Ava Hessington off that board because she's pissed.
Letting him fly.
Yeah.
Have his little attorney wings and go.
There it is. All he's ever wanted.
It's all he's ever wanted. So now they're at a deposition practice or a deposition rehearsal. It's really funny because the last time we talked about the deposition, they were actually in a prison. It was a fake deposition. So it's just Harvey, Mike, and Ava. And he starts to record and she says, is this necessary? He's like, I'm trying to put this, like, do this how it's going to be. And he goes hard. Like, he does not hold back. Reminiscent of a mock trial where, look, I have to prep you. And then it's revealed as they're pushing and pushing and pushing about her being the person that caused these murders, right? Like she funded it essentially. She's like, we paid $100 million more than everybody else, than any other company, because we wanted to make sure that people were compensated if they had to be displaced. She's like, we spent so much money, and the fact that this happened, it eats me alive every single day. And Harvey and Mike are sitting there like, oh. And I think they say, oh shit, because holy shit, because she didn't do it. They have now discovered she did not do it. And she's very verklempt, and like it's an emotional testimony. And while they would usually encourage like not a lot of emotion, you know, if they're coaching her, I would, if I was the attorney, be like, let that fly. Let it go.
And I thought this was interesting too, because it was like, oh yeah, she really hasn't lied about anything. She's been, I mean, except for maybe talking to the journalist, who she didn't disclose, but she's been like, let's bribe him. Yes, I did bribe. That 100% was a bribe. I know you can't hear what I'm saying, but that's a bribe. That's a lot of money in a suitcase for a bribe. Like, she's been honest about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Cameron Dennis made her plead guilty to bribery, so that's not a revelation. Right? Like, she can say that.
And
on
she
the
was
stand.
very hesitant at the beginning to say it. And he was like, you need to come right out and say it with conviction, because you've already been convicted of it. Like, you've already said you've done it. At the beginning when they're practicing this depo, he's trying to get her just like go over the facts.
Oh, right.
And she hesitates to say that she did it.
Yes.
But he's like, it's already on record.
Right. So
woman.
just like lean into it.
Yeah.
While this is happening, while they're having this, oh shit, she's innocent moment, Lewis is making a deal with the board.
The board of Hessington Oil.
The board of Hessington Oil to kick Ava Hessington off.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, we'll still retain Pearson Darby. How wonderful. You're a great attorney. Thanks for helping us get Ava Hessington out of here so our stock can do better. But it's just temporary.
Yeah.
Right? A temporary step down?
No, I think it's they're ousting her.
Oy.
Yeah.
So Katrina goes and checks on Mike, who is still stunned. Because she's, I think, going to tell him.
I don't know.
She just goes to check on him because they're friends now. Mike is so shocked, and she's like, what's going on? And he's like, she's telling the truth.
She's innocent. And then gets a little thumb drive. And I wonder because then we see Katrina present this to Lewis. She tells Lewis about it and presents it. I wonder if Mike just handed that over, or if she's kind of stole that footage.
Yeah, he doesn't give her the thumb drive. He has her just watch it on the computer.
But how did she get it is my question.
Right, I don't know. But she gives Lewis a thumb drive.
Yeah.
And then,
for listeners, it's not like her thumb is driving.
Right, no, it's a USB disc.
It's a horrible joke. It's horrible.
No, it's great. It was so good. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Get out of here.
2 thumb drives up.
2 thumb drives up.
So Katrina tells Lewis Ava's innocent. Harvey tells Mike to set up Ava to speak in front of the board. Like, all this is happening at the same time. Lewis is watching the deposition video alone in his office, and he is very stressed. Jessica comes by, and he's like, oh my gosh, she's innocent. And Jessica just goes, oh, how do you like that? see you in the morning.
Yeah, like, let's pretend this didn't happen. This conversation's over. Goodbye.
Right. And he's like,
don't stop me. Like, I have to go do this because he knows it's the right thing to do.
And she's like, it's not the right thing to do because I've already told you not to do that.
She's acting like Darby is not in the picture right now.
Mm-hmm. And she's also acting like Lewis is her black swan.
Mm-hmm.
But
making the dark choices. But he's trying to become a nice little dove.
But he just went in and was like, I'm your black swan. I do the dirty work. And now that he's doing the dirty work, he's like, I don't like it.
It's kind of like when he wanted to be quartermaster and then he wanted to have it taken. Like,
exactly like that. He gets this idea and then he starts running with it. And it's like, that's not a good idea.
No.
Take a minute.
Lewis,
lit.
Have you ever gotten, there's a depo for you. Have you ever gotten a job and then quickly been like, nope, never mind?
I went to a training for a job that when I was in high school, it was like a marketing job.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, oh, that's good. That'd be a good job to have before I go to college. But it was door-to-door sales of a coupon book.
Oh, gross.
And so I went to the training and it was literally walking door to door and he was giving me all the tips like, oh yeah, like you compare it, you say like, oh, we're already sold this to your neighbors, or like just like all the ways that you sell door to door. All those tips.
Awful.
And I was literally like, okay. And then I got in my car and he's like, all right, we'll talk about like when you start. And I was like, mm-hmm. And then I just left. And I was like, I'm never going to do that.
Did they ever talk about like safety for doing door-to-door sales or anything like that?
No.
That's
of course
so
not. It's just like, hey, I was like, I should not be doing this.
No.
I was like, first of all, because I don't walk around in the heat. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I was like, second of all, I don't sell things.
Yeah.
I'm not a sales lady.
Yeah.
Least of which coupons.
That's true. I accepted a job after the job of the toilet place. I got an offer from a recruiting firm. So I was going to be like a corporate recruiter. And those can be good jobs when hiring is good. You're always the first to go. Like, recruiting is a very volatile, like risky position to be in. I had this job and I was supposed to start on Monday, and then Sewell offered me more. And so Friday at 4 o'clock, I emailed him and said, I will not be taking this job after all. Thank you so much. And just didn't show up on Monday.
That's fine. Okay. The next scene, Harvey and Mike are talking. They think they've got this. How wonderful. Their client's innocent. She's going to go talk in front of the board. She comes and she is big mad.
Mad.
Oh, she is so mad because she has been ousted. They did a morning meeting. She didn't even get to speak. Mm-hmm. And she's like, and you muzzled me before. You didn't let me talk.
And congratulations, you still represent them.
Right. Oh,
that's why she thought that they did it, because Pierce and Darby is still on record.
Right, exactly. So she thought that Harvey and Mike were in on it, and they're like so confused. They're like, we don't know what happened. We don't know. She says, you tried to silence me before, and now look, I don't get to share my side.
Yeah.
And Harvey's like, wait, it's very different speaking to the press versus speaking to a closed door meeting. But still, they are like, Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
Lewis did this. So he runs and confronts Jessica about selling Ava out. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you're pissed at yourself for getting played because she's mad that Darby has got her by the balls. Mm-hmm. And Jessica says, you're the only one in this room taking things personally. Like, you're the only one in this room that's doing that.
Yeah. Dude, she's tough.
She's tough. And she also knows to be calm in Harvey's storm.
Yeah.
But I think she is sensing that he is still really mad at her.
Yeah, Harvey could use some help in regulating emotions.
For sure. He needs to take a couple deep breaths.
Yeah.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. So, you know why you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth?
Why?
It's because if you breathe in through your mouth, the air goes into your stomach, and then that activates your stomach, which causes like your nervous system or like your whole body to think that it needs to work hard, as opposed to if you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, you're just like cycling through a breath.
Interesting. I always do that, but now I would like to know the why behind it.
Yeah.
Thank you. The more you know.
The more you know. Harvey should do that.
Yeah. So then we see Katrina at Mike's cubicle. And
she's like, I enjoyed working with you.
Mm-hmm. Mike tries to get him to understand her, that she's loyal and committed to Lewis.
Yeah, and then she says something, and he's like, "What are you trying to like be my friend?" She goes, "No, I just want you to understand me, and know that I'm loyal to Lewis Litt, and that's why this all has happened, and that's why I'm just like coming to cordially talk to you."
Yeah, and then Rachel sees it, and she sees her leaving, and she's like, "What'd she want?" And she's a little jealous. Like, she kind of just said, he's like, "Are you jealous?" She's like, "Yeah, I mean, now, like, you know, we're, together and I'm jealous and everything. And she's like completely telling him she's jealous, which I think is funny rather than like trying to hide her cards. She's like, I'm just going to show it.
Well, because he got mad at her for being jealous of Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, Mike says, that's before we were together. Like, now it's adorable.
Yeah. He says, I trusted you with my secret, with my life. Don't you know that means I... And she goes, don't say it here. I don't want you to say it here. And he's like, I love you. I'm going to say it in this fucking cubicle,
Yeah, because, I mean, like, their first time having sex was in the copy room. First time saying, we're asking if you'll be my girlfriend was in her office. Yeah. And now saying I love you, of course, is in the pit.
Yeah. It's just kind of how it's going to play out, it seems like.
Yeah, everything big happens in the office.
Everything does happen in the office.
She cries, they make out.
Mm-hmm. And then we see Darby confronting Jessica about insubordination. He flies over to see her and he storms in with a little bit of Harvey energy.
Oh, yeah.
He's super pissed. And she goes, next time you could just call me and tell me rather than flying all the way over here. Mm-hmm. We call that a callback.
That's a callback.
It's so good.
And then she says, whatever about Ava Hessington, she just put $14 million on her side of the ledger.
Mm-hmm. So kind of tip the scales a little bit here.
Yeah, that's why she needed Ava to step down, because Hessington Oil is her baby.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Woo-wee! Woo-wee!
And this happened, you walked in when all this was happening.
I know. I loved that line. I just put $14 million on my side of the ledger.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so good.
It said lager in here.
I typed lager.
Uh-huh. And I was like, that sounds good right now. Nice cold lager.
$14 million on my lager. You know what else sounds good?
Donna getting some D.
Donna getting some British D.
Yeah, she got some British D.
Yeah, so Donna is in the bathroom, and she is in a new dress. She is ready to spill sugar with Rachel.
Mm-hmm. So Donna is in the break room. She's in this beautiful new blue dress. It has an interesting V-neck back scallop, which I thought was a nice detail. And she's going to spill the sugar with Rachel.
Which is cute.
Which is cute, yeah. So Steven comes in, and he's kind of flirting with Rachel and saying, you should come and have coffee with me. And she's like, no, I'm going to be fine. Then Donna says, don't you know that she finds you a bit douchey, love? And then Steven walks off. And Donna's like, I can handle this. And Rachel's like, no, it's fine. I got it. And she's like, he's clearly into me. She's like, no, he was hitting on me. She goes, don't you know you got for the second prettiest to get the prettiest attention?
What a diss.
It was a diss. And she's like, are you saying that I'm the second prettiest? And Donna goes, I'm saying he thinks you're the second prettiest.
What a lawyer.
And then... What a lawyer. And then Rachel's like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, I get it
I get the new dress. Mm-hmm. I get it all.
Yeah.
It's funny because Steven, I thought, was so smooth last episode when he walked into the office and was flirting with Donna. Mm-hmm. Seeing him flirt with Rachel and being met with no was so icky to me and so not smooth.
No.
And so it's so interesting. It takes two to tango. I just came up with that.
It does take two to tango.
I never quote me on it.
I will quote you on the internet. It takes two to tango.
We see Steven in the copy room, and it's all jammed up, and Donna's like, I'll teach you how to be firm with the copier. And she hits it with her
this
hip.
innuendo here.
Yeah. It's so heavy, and they're just talking about relieving the pressure of doing everything by himself. He needs someone to help him relieve that pressure.
Yes.
And it's going to be a brief, casual relationship. Mm-hmm. He would be a demanding but generous boss.
And then she goes, this will involve no secretarial work. He's like, yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. So they're clearly setting up that they're just going to have a fling.
Yeah, and it's not a work fling.
No, and Donna's kind of like, oh. She has this look of what? Oh, F, what have I gotten into? But also, okay.
She kind of loves it.
She kind of does love it.
So then we see Rachel and Donna in the bathroom, and Donna's doing a costume change.
Beautiful dress.
Beautiful dress. She had someone her dress guy brought the dress. Rachel's like, I need his number. And she's like, no.
No, you can't have that.
Donna's kind of a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But she looks beautiful. Rachel looks really prude in this situation. And she's like, wait, Donna, are you going to have a hot, steamy affair?
And she's like, I don't know. Maybe. She was like,
Huge eyes.
Yeah, she's like, maybe I am.
Yeah, she's into it.
Yeah, why not?
She's kind of excited. You can tell she's like...
She's excited. She's like, yeah, maybe I deserve this.
I deserve this after all that I have done.
Yeah, So then she gets out of the cab. It's kind of bummed he didn't come pick her up. But she gets out of the cab, and they're there at the theater to see Daniel Day-Lewis and Macbeth.
In a kilt.
And we find out that they're going to be having dinner afterwards with Daniel Day-Lewis. And she's like, oh, you're good. And she's like, I guess we better hurry. He goes, oh, the show's about to start. She goes, what time is dinner? He said, 10:30. She goes, we're not going to the show. So they skipped the show to go have SEX.
Yeah, which I thought this was so weird. Because then you're going to go out to dinner with Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's going to be like, what did you think of the show?
Like, we were actually
boning.
Shagging.
Yeah, we were shagging.
Shagging.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It's weird. It's also like, just watch the show. More anticipation. Also, when are you going to be on the front row with Daniel Day-Lewis?
I know. I'm like, Donna.
He's in town for a month. You got it.
Yeah,
like,
do it after dinner.
Yeah.
I was like, Donna, this is a weird... Yeah, the writers are making Donna real horny in this episode.
She skipped front row seats to see Daniel Day-Lewis and Macbeth. Yeah. It's great.
She's been in a dry spell.
Yeah.
So then Donna and Steven are back in the copy room, and she's like, quiet copy boy. And they have this flirt talk again. Mm-hmm. They don't know that Rachel is hiding behind a shelf.
That makes it sound like she is like a criminal, like hiding behind a shelf. Hi, Whisk.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet your aunt will just pet you for the rest of the time. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rachel's just hiding behind a shelf and just to intercept the gossip about the sex.
She's got to know. She's got to know.
Got to know. She's just standing right there, and she walks out, and Steven made Donna not even think about Harvey because Rachel's like,
what are you going to tell Harvey? She's like, I didn't think about Harvey. That's not, oh my gosh, that's not me, right? She's like, I'll tell him as soon as he gets back.
And to me, at first, I was like, this is a weird move. And then I remembered that Harvey needs you to tell him every intimate detail of your life. And if you don't tell him everything immediately, he thinks you're not loyal. Mm-hmm. So that's why she has to tell Harvey that she had sex with Steven.
Yeah. And so
Harvey gets pissed.
Because Donna didn't get Darby on the phone. And he was like, where were you? She's like, I was here. And he was like, but where? You weren't here. Like, you weren't like here for me, basically. She was like, I was in the copy room. I was finishing something up for Steven. She's like, you work for me. You don't work for Steven. And she's like, okay, it won't happen again. It was just a one-time thing. And that is a metaphor.
That is a metaphor. And also maybe literal.
It's actually literal. Like, it was a one-time thing. And so then he was like, what is it that you wanted? She's like, nothing. It can wait. And like turns away. So it's bad news bears.
But can it wait?
I mean, it's going to have to wait at least until episode 5. You know? It's also one of those things where it's like, he's not in a position to receive that information.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Donna knows that.
Yes.
And so now it just sucks because she's going to have to walk around knowing that she needs to tell him.
Just
if it is just a one-time thing, does she really need to tell him? Also, it's not like she's cheating on him. She's allowed.
Right. But he would be so mad if she didn't.
Yeah, because she knows that he is not a big fan of Steven.
Right.
Like, Steven is not his BFF.
Right.
Yeah.
At least it's not Travis Tanner.
I know, right?
I just hope that when she says like it was just a one-time thing, that she's not going to put her needs behind Harvey for this.
Yeah.
Like, is it a one-time thing that she was in the copy room? Maybe. But I hope that she doesn't cut it off with Steven just because, I mean, it's only a month.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. I was just wondering, after 4 whole episodes of this season, if you would mind cruising in your roadster down to Prediction Town.
Well, I did just compete in the Testosterone 500.
Yeah, you
so
did.
Here's my first prediction.
Okay.
Mike and Rachel are now going to have so much PDA in the office.
Oh, now that it's out? He's like, I don't care who knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they fucked in the copy room.
Mm-hmm.
They made out in the pit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be booty grabs, hip hugging, little smoochies.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get coffee. Oh, I'll take one, dear. Mm-hmm. Donna, I think, is going to keep hooking up with Steven.
Okay.
But I think she's not going to tell Harvey. And then he's going to be so mad because Loyalty is telling him everything, like who you're boning, when and why, like all the details of your life,
Yes.
all the sugar. Mm-hmm. And maybe this isn't the most accurate prediction, but I do think it's what I would like to happen. Like, I don't know if this is like Donna's character probably would stop going out with Steven. So if I was thinking logically, I'd think that way. But if I'm thinking like for Donna,
you don't want her to. You want her to be able to do her thing.
I want her to do her thing. So that's why I'm making that prediction.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think this merger's going to work out.
Okay. You said that, I think, like a couple episodes ago, right?
I think I said it like in my prediction. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because this happened at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't. It's not looking good.
Okay.
I think everyone needs a visit from Ghost Granny to kind of smooth things over.
Okay.
I think Harvey and Jessica are going to have to team up to get Darby out by the end of the season.
Okay.
And I think that Katrina is plotting and not actually humbled or wanting to be Mike's friend. I think she is Louis Lit with confidence.
Oh, wow. So you think she's going to turn on Mike. You also have said you think she's going to figure out Mike.
Yeah, but I think that she's not like... I think she's doing the... Oh, shit. Like, like they're having these bonding moments and these moments that are making Rachel a little jealous. And I don't think Katrina's doing it to be like, I'm genuinely interested in being your friend, Mike Ross.
Oh, that's interesting.
Her loyalty's with Lit.
Yeah. Does Kyle have any predictions?
I didn't record any of his predictions.
Okay. I was just curious.
I think that he agreed with these predictions.
It's good. Good job, Kyle, for agreeing.
Yeah.
It's been good so far. We're a fourth of the way through this season. Isn't that crazy?
We are.
And I guess, we don't have any new reviews because I think all the 56 ones are still in draft.
Yeah. This is your reminder. Check your drafts. Check your reviews. Click that 5 stars.
Yeah.
Type something nice.
Type something real nice. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
If you don't have anything nice to say, you can eat it. Keep it in draft.
Keep it in draft.
Until you hear something you like and then publish a nice one.
Then publish it so we can read them all day to feel good about ourselves because people we don't know like what we have to say, what we have to say.
What we have to say, what we have to say. Is this another commercial?
It is not another commercial like my buddy.